So here's Loki, the way she looks right now. I put the tarp on it because I don't have a place set up for her to be undercover yet. And today's job is to get her off the trailer. The reason she needs to come off the trailer is this trailer originally came from Canada, where apparently you don't have to license it and there's no VIN to be seen. So it has to be inspected by the State Patrol. And before I can do that, I have to have a scale weight on the trailer. So Loki gets to come off. Yes, I did consider putting her in the water, but then it's like, okay, how long does she have to stay there? I don't have a hitch yet that fits my truck. And just, it was going to be really problematic. It'd be a lot better if I can take her off right here. Then I can take the trailer, get it licensed, and we got some rust going on here. Needs a little bit of TLC. See? Stuff we got to clean up and just make it look better. So part of the problem here, based on all the YouTube videos, is that nice little board on the bottom. Most of your things say you want to lift from the keel. So it's like, okay, if I lift from the keel, that board has to come with it. I don't want that board there when it's off. And the other situation we have is the keel doesn't stick past that board. So there's a couple methods of removing a boat that I can't use. One, you got to have some boat extending past the back. I don't have. And the other one is being able to do a direct lift on the keel. So my plan is to make a jig that will fit up between the upper and lower bunks and use a 2x6 so that we have plenty of square inches of, surface support, and jack it up. I want to use the method of building a support behind these crossbars. I'll do the back end first, lift it as close to this cross member as I can, and then lift the front up close to that cross member. And once it's up, pull the trailer out until those supports are even with this back cross member. At that point, I'll have plenty of keel hanging over the back end, and I plan on building a support so that the main weight can be on the keel, and then some side support so that Loki doesn't roll over. We do not want Loki rolling over. So, got to take the tarp off because I can't access the boat. I'm not going to show you every little bit of things because I don't think you want to see me screwing in a bunch of screws. So, I will play around with things. First off is I want to pull it forward and get that far tire up on maybe a 2x because there's just a little bit of slope. I want to get the boat as level as possible before we start lifting it off. So, I will be back. Okay, what we've been working on till now is leveling the trailer up because the ground's a little uneven. We got some blocks going on front and back so it doesn't take off on us. Nice little tarp because it's damp grass. It's the Pacific Northwest fall, so you need that. That concrete block is where we actually used the little bottle jack. There's that nice little 2-ton bottle jack. Because we ended up with the tongue being down pretty low in order for the trailer to be level front to back. And you can see how much we had to build up this side to get the trailer. But it's my thought that get the boat as level as possible, and then when we build the cribbing for it, that will account for any irregularities in the ground. So here we are with the lifting cradles made. Got the landing pads with carpet, cross basing, front to back bracing. I decided to go 2 different ways with the front and the back ones. Maybe get a little extra side to side, front to back. Anyway, there we are. This back one is set up. Had to do it so it could position that cross brace in reference to the inner bunk. First rendition, you know, wasn't quite right. That's normal for doing things though. Anyway, so the next thing is to block these braces up into position and start taking some weight. So we've done the first lift. We got it up enough to get that board out from under the bottom. The boat actually started sliding forward a little bit, and we weren't quite expecting that. So we've decided to regroup, and my original plan was to lift the back end up 3 inches and then lift the front end up 3 inches. I've been overruled by my help, and so we're going to block this back cradle up, and then we're going to move to the front and lift that up an equivalent amount and go back and forth a few times to get it up evenly. So we have blocked up both ends of the cradle. It is supporting a little bit of the weight of the boat, and we took the hydraulic jack out. So we're going to move up front and center up this cradle and then jack this up. And we also decided, since it's going to take a while to do that, and it would be really convenient to have 2 bottle jacks and just do front and jack. They're cheap, like $21. So I sent Robert off to get a second bottle jack, and Brian and I are going to sit here and work on getting this second brace lined up and ready to go. And maybe we'll do some lifting there to get it up even with the back one before we have 2 jacks going. So we have a little change of plans here. We were able to get that board out that was underneath the keel as soon as we lifted up the back end a little bit, and realized that that opened up the options for us. Like now we can lift directly on the keel, like it's recommended to do for a sailboat. So we still have the cradle on the back end because we did need that for the original lift. And now we've gotten rid of the cradle on the front end, and we're setting up for a lift directly on the keel on the front end. Actually, we've gotten it lifted up to where it's got about 1 inch clearance of the trailer. And so now we're getting ready to block it up on the front end and then pull the trailer out just far enough so that the axle comes up against that front blocking, or the back cross member comes up against the back blocking, whichever one happens first. Okay, things are all cleared out. The hydraulic jack's out. We are blocked up forward. We are free floating above the trailer. And this back cradle is providing side to side support for the trailer. The next stop, get everybody out here and pull this trailer forward. However far that is, 18 inches. So here's our progress on the trailer. We pulled the boat forward about, I don't know, maybe only 12 inches. Who knows? That's as far as we could go because the axle was up to our forward blocking. And we decided that this 4x6 is sticking out where we need to make the final blocking. So we're going to have to do some jacking, get it off there, move that before we build and we're going to build the permanent cradle at the back here before we pull the trailer any more forward. Here we have the long-term bracing for the back end put together. The support on the keel, there's 2 chunks of 4x6 there that are under the keel. These other braces are just the lateral stability. We don't want it rolling over. Somehow or another, when we did the final put together, things got a little tight on top, and that's why those pieces of carpet are hanging down. When we lift the boat to get it off the jacking cradle, we'll slide those in. You can see on this side, there was plenty of room to slide the carpet in there. So that's what's up next on the agenda, is we are going to lift it off the jacking cradle to pull that out and lower it down onto this long-term stand. And then we'll need to move some blocking in the middle here up to right behind that cross member. And then the front blocking will go up right next to the front cross member, and we'll be able to pull it forward another foot or so.
Hey, you're clear, brother. Yep.
Okay, we are done. You've already seen the back cribbing. Got some cross bracing here to go from the front to the back. Again, decided to go with just a different style on the front. Single 2x6s instead of double 2x4s. I found out that I really didn't need a whole lot more lateral stability because that back part was 100% supporting it. Before we had the trailer pulled all the way out, the boat wasn't touching the trailer at all. It was still there because, you know, we had to get it through the crossbars, and, you know, nice to have a little extra lateral in case anything happened, but I jiggled it a little bit and that back cradle was totally holding it. But we still got some nice little bracing on the front here. Other side looks the same, so I don't need to show you that.